The day is starting, leaving the islands. You know, after driving down here from Orlando to the Keys, there are so many nice electric chargers out there that even the new CHAdeMO handles are so nice, but Electrify America, it's like they're just letting them go. I mean, they're built good, but they just don't look as nice as the other ones that we've used on this trip. It's only gonna charge up to 80%, but it's charging pretty fast. I'm at 87. I started at 30%, and her Chevy Bolt was about the same, but it's taken a lot longer. She's, I think, in the 60s or something still. She still has like a half hour to charge. For CCS, you think that they charge so fast, but it's unbelievable how fast my Nissan with a CHAdeMO charges over a Chevy Bolt. If we were cannonballing it and it was a race, I would be gone already. She'd still be sitting here another hour. Second stop, driven 200 miles. So this is pretty nice. Yeah, we stopped way too much on the way down. But we are back at the FPL Evolution chargers and doing great. Charging at 51 kilowatts. 50 was 51 just a second ago. 51 kilowatts, nice. Stay here for about 10 minutes and continue on. Charging like for 10, 15 minutes. It gives you just enough time to get out, get a sweet tea or something, take the dog for a walk, stretch your legs, and then get back on, get going again. Over here at the dog park is what Steph stuck in a truck is doing. Letting Pooper out to play. Yes, even your four-legged friends can come and enjoy it while you charge. Right, Pooper? Right? So at the moment, I have reached 511 miles on this trip. No issues. Oh, so far anyway. 200 more miles to go to call it a day. And this trip will have taken right around, let me roll my window. I got the window down. So this should take right about 700 miles. And this is a really good road test for the 6,000 mile trip. Stories I heard about this, you know, oh, it's just, you know, it's not possible. It is not possible to go on long trips in a Nissan Leaf. So far, it seems at least like it's easier to do it in a Leaf than it is within at least a Chevy Bolt, it looks like to me. I don't know. That's what it's looking like at the moment. One more stop should be it before we get home and I conclude today's video. So let's see how the next stop goes. And if it goes all perfect, well, I think it's a success. Finally made it. 7 hours later. Well, actually 14 hours round trip, but 7 after leaving, we have made it back. That was an insane drive. Not bad. I mean, but putting the Nissan Leaf to the test. What can I say that hasn't already been said? A lot. I was really worried because I come from the 2013 Nissan Leaf where I get 66 miles per charge. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, up in the 70s. But on the average, about 66. And going to the 2021 Leaf, it was like I wasn't sure. You know, they say the range is better on it, and I said, you know, they were trying to sell me hard. I was worried. Hence the reason I want to try this trip to California and back. It worked. So we left Key Largo. We charged before we left, just like if we were going down to the Keys, you charge at home. So charged before we left, and only 2 charges on the way up. The entire trip up only took 7 hours, and that's with charging. Total estimated miles, you know, I forget how many miles it was. Let's go look at that dash real fast. I'm not exactly sure how many miles we did between last night and today. Okay, into the car we go. 710.9. That's not bad. 710 miles. We drove 7 hours today, about 10 hours the first day. And we chalked up that those other 2 hours from the 7 were due to all the continuous charging, because like I said, I was nervous. I was hitting every single charger all the way down to the keys. And then you have that charge time. Well, once we left, it was like, hey, you know what? The cars did really well. Do we really need to hit every single charger? We know they all work on the Florida Turnpike. Every charger works for the Leaf. And there is Chatamo everywhere. That's another issue that I always hear. Chatamo's going away, blah, blah, blah. Most of these pumps, these electrical outlet things that we plug into, I'm sorry, I don't know the Sigmas and all this. I'm not that type of geek. I'm a geek, but I'm not a charging geek. But they're all brand new units. And it's so crazy to have like 5 or 6 units, and every one of them has CCS and Chatamo. Here in Wildwood, Florida, I am very used to just having, like Electrify America, you have 6 charging stations, only 1 cable is Chatamo. And I wish Electrify America or EVgo would rectify that, because these other chargers, they were mind-blowing. It was so incredible pulling up to a charger knowing you have that redundancy. Okay, this pump doesn't work. This pump doesn't work. That pump does. Cool. So you go over there. So like right now, you go to Electrify America, Chatamo's out, you're stuck because there is no redundancy. But at least for this 710 miles, breeze, easy breezy. Now, is it going to be like that leaving here, going to California, crossing through states like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California? I don't know. All I can right now, the test, at least here in the state of Florida, driving from the top of the state to the furthest point south that you can go, basically, except it didn't end up in Key West, but you know, close enough. It was a breeze. Left Florida, or when I left Wildwood, Florida, why am I sitting so low? Now, most of the chargers up here, they're free. Duke Energy, Shell is the provider. Most of them are free, so I can go months and months and months without paying anything. But when the free ones are filled up and you got to go pay somewhere, you got to run to Walmart and use the Electrify America. But so most of the time, I think in a month or 2 months, I may spend $1.50, you know, just to top off a little Electrify America and then run over to the free charger and fill it up. But the entire cost going down was pretty high because we were hitting every charger. So the cost to drive the 360 miles or whatever it was to get down there came out to $29. So that was $29 in charging. Coming back, it was, we spent $14 at the chargers because one of the charges was a, what do they call it? Complimentary. It was a complimentary charge. So, but we only charged twice. So it was like one of them was $14, excluding the one where we charged this morning before leaving. That was $6. So yeah, it was not too bad. So a lot of miles put on overnight. Had a great time in the Keys, back home, getting ready to go back to work and start coming up with putting the information that we got from this trip kind of together and see what it all means and how we can incorporate what we just did with 2,700 miles, that's there, and then 2,700 back. That's a lot of miles. And the Nissan held up well. Battery never overheated, never suffered any of the slowdowns from multiple charging on the first day, though it was the evening, so the battery stayed colder. Today, it was a hot part of the day here in Florida, and it did get up above half on the battery on the heat monitor, but I still had a good inch and a half, that doesn't sound right, of space to fill up. So I probably could have fast charged 1 or 2 more times. So we'll just have to see how that is on the road. But if you're only going to drive 500 miles a day, I don't find it a problem heading out west. Anyway, that's this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and a subscribe if you want to see what it's going to be like in a Nissan Leaf going head to head with a Chevy Bolt round trip coast to coast. Not coast to coast in Florida, but coast to coast United States and back. So if you want to see that, that's coming in July. So make sure you're subscribed, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Until then, peace out, everybody.